Hi, I'm Tiffany, and this video is going to be a Cosmere reading guide because the Cosmere by Brandon Sanderson is getting to the point where there are so many books, it can be hard to know where to start, or once you've started, what to read next. In this video, I will give you a few ideas on first books to start with. I will go over the popular and preferred reading orders, including by publication, chronological, by series, and I will put a link to the website that I used when making this video for you to refer back to later if you need to. There's a couple of things that are important to remember, and one is that not all books by Brandon Sanderson are part of the Cosmere. This video will only go over those books that are part of his interconnected worlds called the Cosmere. And the second thing to keep in mind is that any reading order is a suggestion. There is no black and white right or wrong way to read these books, as long as you're not starting in the middle of a series. And I will put chapters in so you can skip to the section that matters for you. First is where to start. There are a lot of opinions on this, and you will get a different suggestion based on who you ask. I'm going to give you 4 different ideas. The first starting point being Mistborn, otherwise known as Mistborn Era 1, the first book of which is The Final Empire. I think Mistborn is a good starting point because this is one of his stronger novels. You will get a taste of Sanderson's writing style, all of the things that he likes to include in his books, including his characterization, his magic systems that he's really well known for, the twist that he's well known for. The Final Empire could be read as a standalone, or if you really enjoy it, you can finish out Era 1 and go into Era 2. I personally went super out of order and I started my Cosmere journey with The Way of Kings. I think it is a super strong place to start because it's such a good book. It has amazing characterization and magic systems. The only real downside to starting with The Way of Kings is that it is large. If you're an experienced fantasy reader and you're not intimidated by a big book, I suggest The Way of Kings. For something shorter and easier, if you're really not sure if you want to get into this whole ginormous universe, you can start with The Emperor's Soul. This is a short novella that you can find within Arcanum Unbounded. I can't speak much to it as I haven't read it yet, but I have heard from several different sources that this is a good place to start if you're not looking to jump into something really long. My fourth suggestion on where to start in the Cosmere is actually not my suggestion, but you will hear this from a lot of people, and that is to start with Warbreaker. I do have a whole video on why I don't recommend Warbreaker as the place to start in your Sanderson journey. I will link that one if you're interested, but the good thing about Warbreaker is that it is not a giant book. It is a self-contained story, and you do really get a taste of what Sanderson's writing is like. I just don't think it's the strongest one, which is why it's my 4th suggestion and not my first one. Okay, and now on to reading order of the Cosmere. There are 3 popular ways to tackle a universe as large as this one. There is going by series, where you read a full series and don't break up each series. There is publication order, which I know a lot of people like because they want to read them in the order that the author releases them. And then there is straight up chronological order. So because it is all one universe, things do happen in a timeline. But to read your Cosmere in publication or chronological order does mean breaking up series as you go. First in the reading order of contained series is Elantris. Elantris is a full-length novel followed by 2 novellas, also in Arcanum Unbounded, and those are The Hope of Elantris and The Emperor's Soul. After you have finished Elantris, you can tackle Mistborn Era 1, which is a trilogy plus a optional novella. And those are The Final Empire, The 11th Metal, which is the optional novella, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages. Once you have finished Mistborn Era 1, you can then move on to Mistborn Era 2. Era 2 has 6 stories, 4 novels plus 2 novellas in the Arcanum Unbounded. And those are The Alloy of Law, Allomancer Jack and the Pits of Eltania, tomato, that's from Arcanum Unbounded, Shadows of Self, The Bands of Mourning, the most recent The Lost Metal, and finally Mistborn: A Secret History, also from Arcanum Unbounded. After all those Mistborn books, you can then move on to Warbreaker, followed by the Stormlight Archive. The Stormlight Archive currently has 4 full-length novels, with the 5th coming out probably next year, 2024, plus 2 novellas. Those are The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, Edgedancer, a novella that can be found in The Arcanum Unbounded, Oathbringer, Dawnshard, a novella that is not in Arcanum Unbounded, and then Rhythm of War. After those big hefty Stormlight books, you might be in the mood for something lighter, and you can read the White Sand graphic novels. And those are White Sand, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Then you can finish up your Cosmere reading with whatever is left in Arcanum Unbounded, like Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell and Sixth of Dusk. For the next 2 optional reading orders, please excuse me while I read these to you instead of making eye contact, because I'm not going to remember all these books in order. Next is the Cosmere publication order, because sometimes you want to read them in the same order that they were released, and that is Elantris, The Hope of Elantris, The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, The Hero of Ages, Warbreaker, The Way of Kings, The Alloy of Law, The 11th Metal, The Emperor's Soul, Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell, Words of Radiance, Sixth of Dusk, Allomancer Jack and the Pits of Elantia, Shadows of Self, The Bands of Mourning, Mistborn's Secret History, White Sands Volume 1, Edgedancer, Arcanum Unbounded, Oathbringer, White Sand Volume 2 and then Volume 3, Dawnshard, Rhythm of War, and The Lost Metal. Wow, that's a lot. You might want to screenshot that. And for a straight up chronological order, as in you want to follow the exact timeline of the Cosmere itself as of the beginning of 2023, and not including the secret projects or books coming out later this year or in 2024. I'll just update this video in a couple years and include everything. You're going to start with White Sands, volumes 1 through 3. And then again, I'm going to read these because I'm not going to remember. After White Sands, you'll go into Elantris, The Hope of Elantris, The Emperor's Soul, The 11th Metal, The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, The Hero of Ages, Warbreaker, Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell, The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, Edgedancer, Oathbringer, Dawnshard, Rhythm of War, Allomancer Jack and the Pits of Eltania. I think I said that wrong last time. The Alloy of Law, Shadows of Self, The Bands of Mourning, Secret History, The Lost Metal, and Sixth of Dusk. You know, I'm glad I came to this website because I'm going to read you what they say about it. Like I said, I haven't read everything, so this might be super helpful. Where to read Secret History? There's some discord around the best placement of it. You can choose to read it after Bands of Mourning or between Era 1 and 2 of Mistborn, after Hero of Ages. But there are spoilers in it for Bands of Mourning, considered minor for some. I hope this was helpful. You can refer to my links in the description. You can refer back to this video, take a screenshot if you need to. Remember that reading the Cosmere is a journey. There's not a right or wrong way to do it. And once you read one, you're probably going to read a whole bunch more of them. And if you enjoy those Cosmere books, come back to this channel for some of my character studies on those characters you'll be reading about. Subscribe here for more bookish content, and I'll see you next time. Bye!